This video is brought to you by Blissy. You know, I really wanted to actually do a full review for this movie where I actually went to the film, had some notes, I was writing them down, and then I kind of realized about 20 minutes into the movie how pointless it all was. I looked behind me, there were families laughing and cheering and having a good time. I didn't see any of the guys wearing suits throwing bananas at the screen. I did not see that. But there was a moment where I realized that it was pointless to even try and criticize the rise of Gru. Why? I'll tell you here in a second, okay? So when it comes to the mainstream animation studios, like the big boys, you have Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, Sony Animation, and Illumination. And I've always been critical of Illumination, where initially I thought, these are okay films, like the Lorax or whatever. Despicable Me was pretty damn good, actually. I'm like, this is fun. I enjoy it. But as time went on, seeing things like The Secret Life of Pets, or the Grinch adaptation they did, or Sing, it started to become abundantly clear to me that these movies are very safe, with broad appeal to families and their kids. What do the children want to see? What will the parents laugh at? It was abundantly clear that Illumination was very good at making agreeable films that are easy to market to families. And no shade, you know? And this is where I was like, it's pointless to fight back, to have any kind of criticism, because I want folks to be able to have fun. I want folks to be able to go to the theaters and just turn off their brains and enjoy an hour and a half of a bunch of minions going pee-pee poo-poo, throwing fart bomb in a theater. That's fine, all right? I'm not going to try and be the sad 30-year-old man-child who has a red pen at a theater where I'm like, let's see how they form their through lines in the second act. You know, it's pathetic. I admit that. There's a certain level of where I feel pathetic. And that's when I was like, just give up. All right? Just give up across the board. Let Illumination win. They already have. And any grievance I initially had with Illumination, which, by the way, still persists, is because I'm like, I wish they could swing a bit more for the fences. They obviously can do it, I feel. Visually, I'm like, the animation, I have no issues with. If anything, Minions here, The Rise of Gru, is a very pretty film. Nothing outstanding, but we have fun with these characters and their designs. The Vicious Six, I believe, the bad guys, I thought they had some really fun, character designs, especially the main leader. Now, their characters, as far as their narrative goes, for what they're about, what they want, it's kind of stupid and hollow. Because to me, it's like, we're the bad guys, and we're gonna betray our other bad guy friend. Don't worry, folks are like, spoilers. This happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And every character feels so just shallow and one-dimensional to me. But again, it's a Minions film. I'm sure everyone collectively is like, shut the hell up, Saberspark. It's a Minions movie. Why even have any kind of opinion or criticism about it? Let folks enjoy things. And I feel stuck. Where I don't want to be that jerk who's like, let me put my fedora on and tell these children why they're not film buffs like yours truly. I don't want that. But I do want them to have movies that are more than just surface level junk. You know, it's okay to have fun and ham it up and just like dumb things that are simple and silly and lighthearted. And in that regard, Rise of Gru, well done, okay? And then marketing, you blew it out of the water. As always, Illumination is a beast when it comes to marketing. Like Disney and Pixar and DreamWorks, they wish they were as good as Minions. And you see other studios, from the big boys down to even other animation studios who are in the minor leagues, trying to emulate the success of Minions with their own versions of it, and they always fail. Minions, just that concept, what they're about, it is a powerhouse franchise, and I give props to that. From a marketing point of view, Illuminations is probably the best in the business, or one of the best. Definitely giving Disney a run for their money. Lightyear got blown out of the water by Rise of Gru. Not even close. And by the way, both of those movies were banned in China. Lightyear because of the kiss, whatever. And then Minions, I don't know why. It's possible that China's like, we're going to make our own movies. We don't want Hollywood to keep coming over here and taking our money that we could give to our own movies, like Ninja. So that could be a thing. That's just a guess. I don't know. And I'll explain the story here in a bit, because people are like, you're just bitching about like the marketing and the franchise, while also simultaneously like surrendering to it and admitting how powerful it is. Because that's where I find myself. I said it before at the start of this video, I felt powerless and that to have any critique is pointless. But let me try and summarize a few. Okay, here we go. The movie is the second film in the Minions franchise. Most likely will be a trilogy, probably even more. And there's no doubt that Illumination has struck gold with Gru and Minions, going back and forth, just continuing on. Again, the first Despicable Me, and even the second one, I liked a lot. The first Minions, not so much. This one's an improvement. That's because Gru's in this. You have Gru as a kid. This is him having the Minions joining his ranks. He's kind of unsure, where he's like, Minions, what's Steve Carell's accent? Just, what's your accent, Steve Carell? European, apparently. Minions, I don't want you here. I'm going to become a villain and join the villain ranks. And the Minions, because you have the three main ones, plus a new one who's the fat one, lol, isn't that great? And yeah, they're trying to like help out Gru. Gru gets like rejected by the Villain League, which I'm a little bit surprised, because they're like, come try it out. Never mind your kid. And then Gru steals like this medallion that was like at the start of the film, where the original league, like its leader, stole this Zodiac Chinese like medallion of magic, and then the villains betrayed this guy because it was time for new leadership, I suppose. Again, these villains are also very surface level with what they're about, their characteristics. There's a little bit where they're like, this main villain who is quote unquote killed, he comes back later in the film. I thought he'd be like Gru's grandfather, just from the facial structure of the guy. His name's like, what's like Knuckles, Iron Knuckles, Macho Knuckles. I don't know, I forget his name. But like, he captures Gru, and he's like, I'm gonna get Gru to tell me where the medallion is, because Gru stole the medallion from the other guys, and then Gru lost the medallion because a minion took it and traded it for like a pet rock, and now they're all trying to find the medallion. The other villains are like, we have to go take care of this other guy who apparently lived, and also find Gru, and then Gru gets kidnapped, and the three main minions, Kevin, Stuart, and Kevin, they're all trying to find Gru. And it feels like this is such a disjointed film, where I'm like, if you really would have focused more on Gru, where he's like, I want to be a villain, but I lack any experience. I lack a father figure. I don't know what I'm doing. That could have been a movie. And you have this other villain who's kind of like this surrogate father to Gru, which kind of happens in the film, but it's like very half-assed. They lean into it just a little bit, then pull back out, and then go back to the Minions doing their shenanigans, because it's a Minions movie after all. So on a narrative level, I think there was something there they could have actually had fun with. That like, yes, they're playing it safe in typical Illumination fashion, which is not wrong. It's just predictable and simple, but at least it could have been something where Gru, hey, I want to be a villain. Teach me how to be a villain. And we had that for like just a little bit, but not enough. And then also, as far as the pacing of this film goes, it's very quick. There are scenes that just end, boom, done. It feels very abrupt, moving on. And then other moments where it feels dragged out, like it's a Looney Tunes short with the Minions doing like their versions of, I guess, Three Stooges physical comedy, which once more, it works. I feel like I'm complaining about something that obviously everyone else loves and enjoys, and that's fine. I'm not saying there's no fun allowed. You can have your fun, especially for parents and their kids. Life's so hard as it is right now, and I will not stand up in the theater and walk around smacking popcorn buckets like, you've called this art? And these parents are like, we're just trying to enjoy a movie with our kids because, the world's dying. So if any critique I have, like I fully acknowledge, I can read the room. It's a Minions film. Why even try? And let folks have fun. Acknowledged. My nephew, years ago, I was babysitting for him, and he was watching the Minions movie on video, and he was dancing around and jumping, having fun, and just seeing the joy he was having. I'm like, that's sweet. I'm glad. But my concerns come from people who are like, this is stupid poo-poo baby film. Animation shouldn't be taken seriously. And I'm like, no. Don't let this thing label animation where you think it's animation, therefore you can dismiss any kind of criticism you could have for it. That's not a good precedent to set, especially for Illumination, who really pushes that agenda where it's like it's product and product and product for families and their kids. Visually safe, fun, eye-catching. Narratively safe, very safe, and with broad appeal. And to me, it's like, I don't want this to become a defining franchise studio norm, which as far as studio and franchise goes, that boat has sailed. But like as a norm, I'm like, I just don't want this to be labeling animation as a whole. And I say this acknowledging like Lightyear, which I watched, and I'm like, it's boring, it's dull. It should have been more fun. Minions here is on the other side of the spectrum where it's just unapologetically stupid chaos fun, which I'm like, oh man, if only there was a little bit more of a focused narrative to bring it back down. Nothing like, you know, like Rosebud or whatever with Citizen Kane, but like Gru was right there. His story right there, needing a father figure right there. That could have worked, but only touched on it a little bit and moved on. So yeah, and even like the conclusion with this big old battle at the end felt very rushed and abrupt. So I guess I'm disappointed that there were some building blocks where they could have made something a bit more bold, a bit more of substance, but couldn't connect the dots because, you know, minions are more important. Getting them dancing on the screen, doing physical comedy, even if it's just a pointless gag that really has no bearing on the story in its entirety. Like the minions going from like LA or whatever to San Francisco in the movie in a plane. It's like that was pointless. We didn't need to see that, but it's an entire gag. It takes like, 7 minutes. And by the way, again, like this is the 70s when this is taking place, like a disco, and they're having fun with those themes. Like they drop a fart bomb in the Jaws, like movie theater, where I guess it's a movie theater playing Jaws. But yeah, it's a period piece. And you also see like Gru's mom, you see Dr. Nefaria working at like some like music store where the villains are hiding in like, I guess, plain sight. There's a little bit of, you know, Despicable Me world building. And let me just say this, to really just summarize things. I feel like at this point, I'm just ranting. I just wish that there was a little bit more substance thrown into this film. Because I think that the Despicable Me franchise and the Minions franchise by proxy could be more. A bit more, not challenging, but just something more to sink your teeth into, where it is okay to have simple stories. It's okay to have broad appeal, and it's okay to play it safe and not like, you know, we don't need a dead mom every single film or some like family trauma like Disney. We don't need that. We can have fun, keep it lighthearted. But when it boils down to just LOL, yellow fart, corn, you know, monster who works for this villain, you know, let's go laugh at them for 8 minutes as they do nothing on screen but like laugh at each other and show off their butts. And it's like, you know, why can't we fuse it? Why can't we, you know, really like synchronize that up with the Gru story and what he's about? Because Gru to me can be a fun character. I think there's actually room to run with him growing up, becoming the villain that he is in the first film. But what do I know? I'm a sad man-child, you know? I have to say that. I have to be real. Now, as far as like the visuals go in this movie, Illumination has always done like a solid job, if not a good job, of providing character designs that are fun animation sequences. There's some really good fight scenes at the end. I say really good. They throw a bit more weight into it. I wish they would have gone a bit more with these monsters transforming, because like the Zodiac Metal, by the way, I should have mentioned this, can transform the villains and other creatures and people into Zodiac monsters, which again, on a narrative level, that's not very well explained. It's like, the medallion, we need this. Why? I don't know. I need it. What does it do? I don't know. Why do you want to get this guy out of your group? I don't know. Okay. There's a moment like when the climax happens where the main villain girl, who, again, I like her design. She's a really fun design. I like her sass. I like the other villains and the puns for their names with like Nunchuck or Jean-Claude or whatever. That's fun. There's some good moments, you know, of like actual like, okay, that's funny. But like at the end during this final confrontation, the main girl's like, it's time. And it's like, for what? What's happening? Nothing's been really explained that well. There's a kung fu lady who's training the minions, because why not? You know, sure. I just don't know. I feel so lost. I can say this, though. The music, very good. Great soundtrack, great music. Voice acting's just fine. You know, again, Steve Carell and his Steve Carell as the good. You know, it's like, okay, that's the thing. You know, I'm like just in this recording booth, just like fighting myself where I'm like, I have more reasons of why I don't like this film. And I'm just trying to take this other side of me. And it's like, let people have fun, idiots. But then I think about Illumination, who's like, yes, let them have fun. Stop being a jerk and give us all your money. So that's where I kind of take a bit of a grievance, is when the giant corporations are like obviously just reaping the whirlwind when it comes to these things. But visually, it's fine. Much better than the other entries, better than the first Minions film. I thought it was fun. There's never really been a moment for Illumination where I'm like, this is atrocious, this is terrible. It's always been like teetering on average to slightly below average to slightly above average, with occasional moments of that's pretty dang good. So Illumination, you won. You've won. You brought people to the movie theaters, which, hey, props. Good on you. You're a marketing force of nature. Your franchise is a monster in this world, and it has no one to boss it around. Everything kneels in its grandeur and power. And I'm sure that you all are going to just continue to churn out Despicable Me movies and Minion movies because it works. So, I don't know. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm just kind of like, wow, I suppose there's a moment where you have to realize that trying to bitch about these things is just, it's a fool's errand. Why even try? And I say that to no level of me trying to be contrarian, where I'm like, look at the idiots with their blinders on enjoying a kid's film, you stupid 5-year-old boy. Why don't you go watch something like Gone with the Wind, The Sound of Music, whatever, I don't know. Space Jam 2. I just gotta, I guess, be realistic and stay grounded with my perspective to know that there are people who just want to go to the movie theater and just have fun. And in that regard, this film is innocuous enough for those ends. But if you're trying to actually take any level of criticism towards this film, there's a lot that could be improved. I really think so. But what do I know? I'm just gonna fall back into the Minion void, fall into the iceberg that they fell into, which so conveniently kept them out of action from 1935 to 1946, because they had to address that, didn't they? So on that note, if you've seen the movie, post your comments down below, because I'm Steve Carell with my voice accent.
Okay, who did that?
C'est Stuart!
That was great!
Thank you.
So a big shout out to this video sponsor, Blissy. So a little over a month ago, I upgraded my pillowcases to Blissy's silk pillowcases. And I sincerely, genuinely adore them. I'm a goblin at night, and I have 2 fans blasting in my room to keep me cool. But I had no idea that silk pillowcases could enhance my cool sleeping experience. I got one Blissy pillowcase for my head, and then I have another one between my legs because I'm weird, and both have truly enhanced my sleeping experience. For those who don't know, Blissy offers silk pillowcases which give you better hair, better skin, and excellent sleep. This is a completely natural and hypoallergenic silk pillowcase, designed by a team of experts that does wonders for your overall health while you sleep. I got my Blissy package a few months ago, and like I said in my previous spot for them, the package itself was frankly adorable, like so cute, and was just busting with charm and presentation. The box itself was full of all kinds of treats and goodies, including hair ties, which my girl promptly and gladly commandeered, plus the purple pillowcase, which left me with 2 of my own. I love them. I brought my pillows with the Blissy cases with me on a trip recently because I don't trust other pillows now. I can't trust these normie pillows. I need my silk pillowcases. I don't care how that makes me sound, You don't understand. You have to try them. They're amazing. Blissy pillowcases are temperature regulated and also non-toxic. The silk meets OEKO text guidelines, meaning no toxic chemicals or dyes are used in the products. So I highly recommend Blissy. They make for a great gift for anyone for any occasion. With the wedding season this June, birthdays, or any other season. Blissy makes the most memorable gift because people use it every night and they think of you. That's right, they're thinking about you in bed. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Do we keep that in the video? So go to blissy.com/Saberspark or click the link in the description down below, and you will get an additional 30% off your order and free worldwide shipping. Get your energy back, sleep better, and even improve your hair and skin with Blissy Silk pillowcases. That's BLISSY.com/Saberspark. Or just click the link below. And the code automatically applied at checkout for an additional 30% off your order. Go hit them up today.